Come share the journey of success. Tune in the first week of every month and be encouraged as Michelle Bohm, the founder and CEO of Inspired Style Company, and Reagan Ward, the founder and creative director of Leslie Tyler Design, showcase guests as they share their success stories and their challenges. Along the journey to your success, there are many great adventures and great sights, but also detours and roadblocks. You can learn from it all and achieve your goals and dreams, whatever they may be.
Hi, friends! So good to see you today. I'm Michelle Bohm, and I'm here with The Journey. We have been on a little bit of a hiatus. I don't know why. There seems to be something else going on in the world that's maybe causing a little bit of a disruption in our life, and it did disrupt our show for a period of time. But we have found a way to come back, and we're going to work through this together with my guest and dear friend, founder of I've Decided, Kim Martin. Thank you for being here, Kim.
Hey, Michelle. I know. Well, hello over there.
We're waving from across the room
Yeah.
because Tim has been amazing at Widecast, and he's found a way for us to do this without even being next to each other. So that is pretty cool.
It is
but it
pretty
is
cool.
also amazing to be able to see
I know, people.
Like,
It was hard not to want to hug, too.
I
You
know.
and I are huggers. So we were both like, air hugs.
yeah.
It was so hard because you have that emotion like, oh, my friends,
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen you in forever. And you want to immediately, if you're like us anyway,
Yeah.
we want to hug
You
and
want-
say
and-
hi. And
miss each other so much.
Yeah.
But you know what we're doing? We're making progress.
we are making progress. Oh, well, look at you.
Segue into our weekly winning word. Our weekly winning word is progress, and we are making progress.
Yes.
Is this the way I want it to be? Absolutely not. I want to be able to walk into Widecast, see my friend Tim and give him a big hug, see my friend Kim and give her a big hug, but we're making progress
That's
towards
right.
getting there, and so I'm just going to be okay with the progress.
That's what we got to be. We
Right?
have to because otherwise we would get overly stressed or feel like we're not getting where we need to be in the right amount of time. And, that starts making us feel bad about things. And so in order to try to focus on the positive and try to stay as positive as we can and focus on things that we can change, we have to look at the progress.
Yeah.
We just have to measure the progress, look at the progress properly. So
And
Yep.
that's why I love when I got the weekly winning resource on Sunday. I opened it up Monday morning and I was like, yes, I forgot. I forgot that progress was the goal. I thought I had, all of those things, all the
Right.
things that are on my goals, that I've written down in my success planner and journal,
Yeah.
that I was only going to be successful if those things were done by the end of the first quarter or by the end of the second quarter. I even
Right.
went into my office and I looked at, we have these 4 dibs boards where we break it up in quarters, and I was bummed because I thought, well, I didn't check half of those things off the list.
Right.
The world changed.
Everything shifted.
Yeah. So I loved getting that reminder that progress is the goal.
It's just amazing to me since everything this whole year, the words have just aligned so
have.
perfectly.
It's
and
like-
I mean, the Success Planner and Journal has been in existence since last September, right?
Yep.
And so I created those words last March or April, a year ago.
Yeah.
These words were created. And so when I look at them as I'm writing the weekly mini research, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so perfect. So yes, the word progress was a perfect opportunity because after, the shelter in place now for 45 days, we can start to feel like we're drowning and we're not getting where we want to be. And so that word progress popped up and I'm like, oh gosh, this is a great reminder
word.
for all of us that are we making progress? And most importantly, are we measuring that progress properly?
Yeah.
And how do we know?
So let's talk about that. How am
Yeah.
I going to measure my progress properly? Obviously, the world is different.
Right.
I can't sprint right now when I like to sprint.
Right.
And especially when a new quarter starts, that's when I really feel that antsy, like I'm not doing enough because I'm not going to make.
Oh yeah, and it
make
is
those
a new
goals.
quarter.
New quarter.
I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, I know.
It's May.
Yeah,
It is a new business
So it
quarter.
was a new, it was a new one last month, and I feel like I didn't make any progress. But
Oh, wait,
really, I did.
April, May. Yeah.
Yeah.
April's a new.
We don't even know what day it is
Yeah.
half the time. But I did look at those goals and kind of had the little panic moment
Mm-hmm.
in May on May 1st because I was like, I haven't I haven't met any of the ones that I had planned for April.
Right.
But when I looked at it, like really, really looked at it, I had made some progress on those things. So how can I measure that and feel better about the progress I'm making versus, getting down on myself?
Well, in our weekly winning resource that we send out to all of our members every week for I've Decided, there's an article, right? And we wrote that article 4 ways that you can know if you're making progress. And I think you have that right in front of you.
You told me I need to have a reasonable timeline.
So
I always think I can do a million things. Reasonable timelines are not my strength, Kim. So I read that, and the idea of matching your progress with the level of difficulty for your goal. I don't always do that. I always assume that everything's going to be the same level of difficulty, and it's certainly not.
It's certainly not. And I think that's the biggest issue that we face when it comes to reaching our goals and dreams. We give up too soon because we think it should be happening faster than it is, right? And so our timeline, the way we're measuring that timeline just isn't realistic. And in the article, I use the example of weight loss because obviously that's one that almost every human being can relate to at some point in your life. You may have tried to lose weight, whether it be a little or a lot, but especially those of us like myself who've lost a lot of weight, that and understanding how long it takes. And you measure the results and you think, I'm working out every day. I'm eating salads every day for lunch. So you've restricted your calories. You're working out every day and you're only losing 1.5 pounds a week. And you're like, how the heck is this happening? Why am I not losing 5 pounds or 6 pounds or 7 pounds? And realistically, that's just not how science works. 3,500 calories is a pound. And so that's the example that I use, but it can be in anything like your business with your salon. You've got I know this girl. She's got lofty, big global goals.
But then
global goals.
I definitely don't put them into a reasonable time frame because I'm like, okay, it took that person 15 years to do this, so it should take me about 5 months. 5 months. That's good. It doesn't even make any sense.
I know, but that's good that you're confident. You know what your purpose is. You know what your mission is, and that's a sign. That you're doing the right thing, and you feel like, yes, I'm in my zone, and this is what I'm going to do. But even still, Michelle, you and I are a lot alike. Everybody doesn't work on our time frame. And my husband reminds me of that all the time. I'm like, can't you just do that? And he's like, no.
That takes years, Kim.
You can't just change the amount. I have to go in and rewrite the whole system. Like, just change the...
I know. We're so unrealistic.
So your timeline has to be realistic. And your goal, your workload, has to match what your expectation of how long, and you got to do due diligence. You can't just go off of a feeling. You have to do your due diligence. How long did it take someone else to accomplish the same goal? What's the science behind it? What's the actual facts, the reality, kind of like
my personal reality.
And your own personal.
I only had to work 28 hours in a day for that to happen. There's not 28 hours in a day, Kim.
Right. So making sure that you're realistic in terms of how long is it actually going to take you to achieve this goal. And it obviously give or take, because it depends on, we start looking into assessing situations and things. But I think the second one was
is tracking your results.
Your results.
You're going to set that big long goal, but if you're not constantly making sure that you're making progress, you wake up one day and it's the end of the year. And you haven't done anything. You
absolutely have to track your progress some way, somehow. And whether it's using a chart, like a flow chart, or a graph, whether it's journaling, if it's weight loss, if you don't like stepping on the scale, then you need to have a pair of jeans that you can put on every week and see how they fit, to measure. Take a picture. From a business perspective, you're writing down your goals and where are you today? You have to have a means, accountability buddy, I like to call. So that accountability buddy where you are sharing with that person, this is what my goal, this is where I'm at, this is where I go, so that they can remind you, oh, Michelle, look at where you're at. Remember last month you told me having a success coach, someone that you can talk to and that they can remind you of what you said and where you are today. There's different ways of tracking, but not tracking is the worst thing you can do when it comes to achieving your goals and dreams, because you won't see the progress. You won't feel like you're making the progress at the pace that you should be, so you'll give up. That's what happens to most people.
Isn't it interesting how we hold on to our failures? We never forget when we didn't reach a goal, right? You never forget that.
That's right.
But we don't celebrate every time we do.
That's right.
And so we forget very quickly
Yes.
how much progress we've made if we're not celebrating it.
Yeah, we
along the
talk
way.
about that, I think.
Yeah, give yourself credit. I skipped number 3.
Yeah.
So give yourself
She's
credit.
jumping
Yes.
ahead. See what
Yes.
she does here?
I
Jumping
know.
right
I know.
No, but you understand how this works. I put it in an article to read, but you didn't even have to read the article to really start to recognize, and you need to give, and it's like, oh, wow, it's even in there. Because, no, we know this, but we forget.
Yeah.
So it's not information that you don't know. But, so measuring, having a means to measure your progress. And then the third thing is assess, right?
Assess your situation on a regular basis, which
That's
right
where
now,
we are right
that's
now.
where we're at.
Yes.
We've got to, yes, there were circumstances outside our control
Yes.
that changed our lives, our businesses, our everything,
That's
our
right.
whole world.
Yep.
So we can't expect to have the same, we can't expect to run 100 miles an hour right
No.
now. We just can't. It's not realistic.
No, you have to always assess. Every now and then, so as you're tracking, every now and then you have to assess, and you have to look at your circumstances, right? Maybe it could be someone who just had a baby. All right, now they need to reassess. Or maybe someone just lost their job, or maybe you got a job and you just got a promotion, and you're going to be busier at work than normal. So that side gig that you love, you might have to kind of put that on the back burner for a minute, because you just got a promotion at your full-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just go back and forth over different scenarios, but at the end of the day, we have to reassess. We have to constantly reassess our financial situation, right? We have to constantly assess what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. I mean, obviously, I think this is the part where some of us may be right now with this staying at home. We especially if we're business owners like you and I.
Right.
If you're watching and you're a business owner, it's just a time that we really do need to reassess. We have to think, okay, what are the obstacles that we're facing? How can we work around these challenges? What are things that we can do? What is it going to look like when we get back to work?
Right.
Is there anything I can do right now today that my future self is going to thank me for?
Oh, gosh.
Like,
Yeah,
what can you do right now, Michelle? Because, like, when you're salon, I mean, I hope Tim's doing a good job of covering up this. But I can only imagine that when your salon does get to open, the ladies are going to, and men, I shouldn't just say ladies, men have to look good too. Tim's got good hair. He's got to look good. But the women and men are going to be flooding in to get our manicures, pedicures, our hair, because we haven't had that. And it's, people can say, oh, that's just so not something you should be worried about.
Right.
But it is very important to people,
Yeah.
how we look, how we take care of ourselves. And it's a part of our who we are. So you will be flooded.
Oh, absolutely.
With people.
Yeah.
What can you do right now today that will help you say, I'm ahead of the game?
Right.
I've already got this taken care of.
I hate being surprised. I love surprising people. I hate being surprised. I don't like it
Well,
when
I bet
something like
Steve,
that.
that's not very fair for you, Steve,
I know.
is it?
That's my favorite thing. But I hate it when something comes out of nowhere that I wasn't expecting.
Right.
So, I mean,
Throws you
probably
off.
to a fault.
Yeah.
Like, I want to look ahead.
Yes.
I want to look at what, communities that are opening up, what kind of risks, what kind of, I want to be
Yes.
able to assess those things. And just being able to assess it doesn't help the situation at all, right? Like, it doesn't change.
It doesn't change
the
where we are.
situation
Right.
that I'm in, but it makes me feel better about this, because I feel like, okay, if this happens, then I know I'm going to do this. If this happens, I have a plan,
A hope.
at least.
You have hope.
Yeah.
And, something to look forward to, something that you can control.
Right.
You can control. Like, for example, at Curves, Melissa and I are working right now, so we're praying that early June we'll be able to reopen, because we do fall in the phase 1 category. We can open. So we're praying that that's going to happen. And so right now we're like, okay, let's go ahead and start calling our ladies. We know that we aren't going to be able to allow more I forgot the number.
Right.
I won't even guess, but there's only going to be a certain amount of women that are allowed in the club at one time so that we can keep that distancing, right? And so we're going to have to make appointments for them to come in.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, start calling right now to set those appointments.
Right.
So that we can go ahead and have that set. We don't want to be doing that the week that we open.
No.
We can plan for that and do that right now.
Like you said, what can I do today
that my
that
future
30
self-
days from now, when people are pounding on the door wanting to come into your business, what can I do today
Yes.
that future self is going to thank me
And
for?
I want to it's so important to say that might require some work, because honestly, we can get in a funk.
Yeah.
And if you're in a funk, I want to just encourage you to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Dig in somehow. Dig in. Because I understand. I'm like, one day I'm like, yes, we're going to conquer the world.
Right.
Next day I'm like, I'm in the Twilight Zone.
And there's no in between.
And
It's one or the
I
other.
know it's like one extreme to the other, but I really want to encourage you to dig in and go against how you feel and do that work now, because I think once we go down this little spiral of like, forget it, it's not even worth it. I'm
never
just
gonna
going
be
to
that-
hang
yeah.
out here and watch TV and wait for somebody to tell me I can go back out.
Yeah.
You know, we get in that mode and we could be doing so much more. I'm not saying that you don't have your moment.
Oh, yeah.
Have
yeah.
your moment.
Yeah,
I've
you've
had
gotta have
plenty.
that.
Yeah, have your moment. Do the things, to keep yourself sane. But there's a time where you got to say, okay, there are things that I can do, and I'm going to start focusing on those.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make myself do it, even if I kind of feel depressed because of everything that's going on.
Right. Yeah.
It's sad times right
That's
now.
what so our team, we've been talking about that. You feel the feelings, like you feel the sadness, you
feels.
feel the grief, the loss,
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. And then you do it anyway.
And you do it anyway.
Yeah,
You keep
I'm
moving.
going to honor how I feel about it, and this is a tough time.
It's
But
sad.
there's so many things that I can do.
There are.
There's so many things I can still control.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest one is the space between my ears. I can control that.
Yeah, sometimes I can. No,
That's true.
You can't. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, shut up in there. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
You need to go back to sleep. Yeah.
But we don't want to miss the fourth one
Yes,
that you were talking
yes.
about.
So, and then the fourth one is definitely give yourself credit.
Give
because-
yourself
yeah.
credit. Michelle, give yourself
I know.
credit. You're such a hard worker. You're so creative.
Yeah.
And you're you and Melissa remind me so much of each other. It's just so compassionate and so kind and sweet to everybody, just everybody. And give yourself credit for that,
Oh, well, thank
because you're
Yeah.
gonna survive that. You're gonna come out on the other side. You're gonna be one of those people that come out on the other side, like way just up there and out there.
And
So-
I sure do beat myself up sometimes when I'm, not doing what I know that I'm capable of doing, because when the dream is big, you know that you got to work
Right.
really, really hard. And you can get a little down on yourself for that. So this was a great reminder for me
Good.
of give myself some credit, because man, I've made a lot of progress.
Well, it's funny because when I write these, I'm really writing them to myself.
Yeah, are you?
It's
Yeah.
really like how I'm feeling. I mean, obviously,
when I'm
right?
writing
I'm writing them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is how it's coming from how I feel and what I think we should do just based on my experience and behavior change and mindset and things like that, right? And so it's
When
hopefully
I read it, I
it's
feel
really-
like you're talking to me. That you're
Yay.
telling, you are giving me that little coaching bit that I need. So if you are missing your weekly winning resource, it comes to your email. Usually like Sunday nights is when I get my
every Sunday afternoon at 5:00 you get
Yeah.
a weekly winning resource, and then we text it to you
Yes.
on Monday. But
Yeah. But it's great. There's so much information there. Like it's just my little weekly coaching session with
Yeah.
Kim. And then I'm ready to hit the ground running on all my goals.
Yep, that's right.
So-
And so, we're still growing. We still have members joining, which is exciting.
Yeah.
I
I think people need this now more than ever.
Oh my
Kim.
gosh, it's time.
Yeah.
If you haven't been working on your goals and dreams and you've been pushing them to the side, it's time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to get started on them and get in a group of people that will support you and help you. I can't say it enough. I mean, I know it kind of sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm not. Our organization
Give
is made
yourself
up.
credit,
Our
Kim.
organization is made up of almost 200 people. Those are 60 businesses and community members, and it's not me. It's all of us.
Yeah.
It's the most awesome people on the planet, just supporting each other.
Yeah, and celebrating each other's progress
Yes.
is
And
that's
reminding
part.
each other
Yeah.
of how awesome you are.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you, guys.
I'm glad that we were able to bring the journey back,
I
even
know.
though we had to modify a little
We
bit.
had to modify, I know, but it works.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to do this.
I know, me
and
too. I hope you
bring it all
guys
back.
enjoyed it as
So,
well. So share,
Yes.
share this with your friends. Encourage them to check out their progress and give themselves some credit.
Yeah. And we'll be back with the journey and more of our I've Decided shows.
Next week will be our community. Every Tuesday we come live from YCast Studios. And we'll be back next Tuesday, somewhere around noon.
There's no time now.
It's like somewhere around noon on Tuesdays.
Time no longer
What's
exists.
time?
Well, thank you for joining us on the journey. Again, if you have not checked out I've Decided, make sure you go to ivedecided.org. Join our community. Check out our business resources there. All small businesses right here in our community that are working hard to keep our community strong.
Yes, so true.
Yeah.
And when Inspired Salon opens, every single one of us are going to bust those doors down.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be like, hold up, people, wait in the parking lot. We have procedures here.
Great. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Kim. Thanks for being here and bringing back
Thanks,
these
Michelle.
programs for all of our I've Decided friends.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Come share the journey of success. Tune in the first week of every month and be encouraged as Michelle Bohm, the founder and CEO of Inspired Style Company, and Reagan Ward, the founder and creative director of Leslie Tyler Design, showcase guests as they share their success stories and their challenges. Along the journey to your success, there are many great adventures and great sights, but also detours and roadblocks. You can learn from it all and achieve your goals and dreams, whatever they may be.
PeoriaLife.com